I know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
Talking to y'all about dividends because, as I said, dividends only come from making investments. And one thing that I'm seeing that's going on right now in all over the world, different areas of the world, business world, sports world, the relationship world, so a lot of people are making bad investments. People are making bad investments, then they're not getting the right returns on their investment, and then they wonder why the returns ain't right. And people are making the right investments, they're getting the right returns, but they're not getting it as fast as they want. They're not getting the dividends as quickly as they want to get them, so they stop making the right investments. What I got to understand is this: every single thing you do, I talked about this in a motivation video years ago, that everything you do is either a build or a destroy. You're either building or destroying every single thing that you do in your life. Every person you talk to, you either making yourself smarter or you making yourself dumber by having a conversation with that individual. Every moment that you spend consuming something, that means a book, you watch a video, you read somebody's tweet, you read the caption of somebody's Instagram post. Every single investment that you make in your time, your attention, your money, your effort, you are either going to get a return on that investment, or you're going to get a return on every investment. It's either going to be a positive return or it's going to be a negative return. Y'all know that in the investment world, like stocks and bonds, I don't invest in stocks and bonds, but anybody who does, when you put your money in stocks and bonds, you might make money or you might lose money, depending on if you make a good investment or a bad investment. But in the stock market, you can't control what happens. The stocks might go up, it might go down. You can't control it. You just got to give your best guess as to what's going to happen. But guess what? With the things that you do in your life, the things that you do, the people you talk to, the books that you read, the YouTube videos that you watch, the people you choose to pay attention to on Periscope, the people you follow on Snapchat, listen, you have 100% control over that investment. And if you're not getting the proper dividends, right now in your life right now is a reflection of the investments you've made up to this point. If you're not getting the right dividends, then you need to stop making that investment. I don't care who told you to make the investment. I don't care what investment your friends are making, who else is doing it, or why they told you to do it. All of you are smart enough to be able to look at the returns you're getting on your investments. All you know where you're spending your time. You know where you're spending your money. You know who you're hanging with. You know what you're reading or not reading. You know what you watching, not watching. You know who you following and not following. You can look at where you at right now, the returns you're getting, each area of your life, your body, your finances, your friends, your relationships, just the way you feel emotionally, spiritually, mentally. What kind of investments have you made to get to where you at right now? What kind of investments have you made to get there? And look at your dividends. Your dividends are in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen. Your dividends are what you see right now. And if you're not getting the right ones, you got to stop making that investment. Even if somebody might not like it, even if somebody's feelings are hurt, even if somebody might take it personal. Listen, business isn't personal. Each one of us as an individual is a business. Every human being is a business. And if your business is not giving you the right returns, then you got to make some changes. Now, if you got to drop some people to do better in business, is it worth it? Is it worth making that move? Is it worth investing in getting rid of people to get a better return on your business? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. Is it worth getting rid of that 30 minutes of bullshit on YouTube you watch every day to spend that 30 minutes reading a book? Is it worth it to get the return? You don't know. See, the thing about investing is you don't know if you're going to get you don't know what the return is going to be or how long it's going to take. But what you can do is learn from people who already got the returns and say, all right, this person has some returns that I want. What are they doing? And ask that person, what are they doing? What are you reading? Who are you hanging with? What are you doing on Friday nights? How do you spend your weekends when you ain't got to go to work on Monday? What do you do over the holidays? How do you spend your free time? When you're done working, what are you doing in that spare 2 hours that you got every day? How are you spending that time? How are you investing that time? A lot of people are making bad investments. Some of your friends are bad investments. Some of the people you hang with are bad investments. If you work at a job, there's a whole bunch of people that work there, but you choose to talk to 2 or 3 of them. Some of those people are bad investments. You're talking to the wrong 2 or 3 people at work. You're talking to the wrong 2 or 3 people at school. You're hanging with the wrong kids in your class. Because understand, you could just look around at the people around you. You tend to gravitate towards people who are like you. So if you ain't doing well, you probably hanging around a bunch of other people who ain't doing well in that particular area. See, if you out of shape, you probably got a whole bunch of friends who are out of shape. See, if you don't read, you probably got a bunch of friends who don't read. See, if you pay attention and consume a whole lot of bullshit every day, you probably hang with a bunch of people who consume bullshit. You got to get away from those people. And here's the challenge. This is the crux of the whole thing. See, if you make the decision to get away from those bad investments and start making good investments, the problem is, the challenge is a problem for some people, is that when you try to leave that group, because we're social creatures, you try to leave that group of bad investments and get with the good investment group, at the beginning, the good investment group's not going to take you in. They're not going to take you in. They're going to reject you. They're going to be looking at you like, yo, we know what you about. We know who you hang with. We know what you consume. We know what we're doing that you're not doing. We're not letting you in our group. You know why? Because you're going to bring their average down. They're like, nah, get your bum ass away from here. We don't want you in our group. You making us worse. They're not going to want you for a minute. So what you got to do is actually prove unconsciously to the people in those groups that you're actually worth it. You got to prove that you're worth it to the people in those groups, while at the same time staying away from the loser group that you just left, which means for a period of time, you're going to be isolated. For a period of time, there ain't going to be nobody with you, because you're getting away from the losers, but the winners ain't accepting you yet, because they know what you're about. And the losers realize you ain't about them no more. They don't want you no more. They like, okay, you trying to change. You trying to be different. You trying to be like somebody else. You think you better than us. Well, yeah, you are better than them. You making some investment decisions that are better than the ones they making. Then if that makes you better than them, then hey, that's what it is. You got to be willing to ruffle some people's feathers, disappoint some people, make some people, maybe some people might not like you. That's an investment that you got to make if you want to get where you got to go. And during that period, and understand, this period might be a day. It ain't going to be a day. This period might be a month. It might be a year. It might be 5 years, where you can't get into the group that you want to get into because they don't think you good enough yet. They don't believe you yet, that you haven't made enough of an investment yet for a consistent enough period of time for them to believe you. But at the same time, you can't go back to where you was at. And the challenge that most people have is that since we are social creatures as human beings, we all earn to be around other people. We earn for acceptance. We want to be part of a group. Most people during this period, this 5-year period, this 6-month period where they got to get out of the losers, get into the winners, they feel so alone being by themselves that power, that feeling of aloneness overwhelms the logic of making better investments. And you know what they do? They go right back to the group of losers they was with before. Then they wonder why this year is the same as it was 5 years ago. Then they wonder why the dividends they get now is the same as the dividends that they claimed that they wanted to stop getting, because they keep making the wrong investments. And sometimes in life, you got to decide, like, an investment that was working 6 months ago might not be working no more. You might have to take your money out of one stock and put your money into a different stock. You understand that? Or if an investment that you make ain't working, if you don't want to take your money out that stock, you might have to have a conversation with the stock, following the analogy, and say, yo, this ain't working the way it was before. We need to make some things. We need to change some things. Any of you in a relationship, you ever had to have that conversation with your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, husband, wife, children, and say, yo, like, this was working, but right now something ain't working. We need to have a conversation, because something ain't working right here. When I invested in it, I was investing in A, but right now I'm getting D. We need to change it. We need to do something. We need to have a conversation, not tomorrow, right now, because something got to change. I'm not making this investment no more. You got to understand that everything you do, that's your money that you invest in. All right, if you invested your money in a company, you're not going to let them just do whatever with your money. You're going to follow your money and be like, yo, what y'all doing? This money, I put some money in here. I expect to get my money back. Like Kevin O'Leary says on Shark Tank, when I send my money out, they like soldiers. I expect them to go capture other soldiers and bring back more. You understand? Understand that we talking about money. Your time is more valuable than money. Your energy, your ideas, your thoughts, the way that you see yourself in the mirror is more valuable than money, because all those things can make you as much money as you want. So people put a lot of value on money, but then they put no value on the people they hanging with, the places they go, what they're listening to, what they're reading or not reading, who they're following, what ideas they're accepting, whose opinions they are adopting, whose beliefs they are adopting, but they put all this value on money. All those things can make you as much money as you want, but you're investing in bullshit. You're investing your time, effort, energy, emotions, opinions, and beliefs in bullshit. Those things can make you as much money as you want, but you put money above those things. And then you wonder why you're not getting the right dividends in the long run. Is this conversation making sense to y'all? I want to make sure this makes sense to y'all, because I always examine my investments. See, if I spend time talking to somebody or listening to somebody talk and I'm not getting nothing out of it, then I'm like, why am I talking to this person? Why am I listening to this guy talk? Why am I coming here, sitting here, listening to this shit? That's a question that you got to ask yourself. You always are examining. I talked about this last week. It's like you're a boss at a job. Every single thing you do is an employee. Every habit you have is an employee. And if the employee's not doing their job, listen, the employee got to go. Every habit is an employee. If the employee's not doing their job, the employee has to go. It's not every 6 months. It's not a 90-day probationary period. It's not. You got to go. Now, you out, we bringing in a new employee. Old habit out, new habit in. Every day you should be firing an employee and hiring a new one. If you ain't got what you want right now in life. Is there any area in your life you ain't got everything you want, then that means there's some employees that need to be fired and some new employees need to be brought in. That makes sense? Let me take any questions. Anybody got any questions? I will take a question. This is Dre Baldwin you're talking to. I'm an author. My TED Talk just came out. If you go to my website, dreallday.com, I got to change my bio link here. If you just go to my website, dreallday.com, you can see my TED Talk. You get out of the losers group and they do their best to hold you back. What do? You do your best to get out of the group like you decided to do. Them doing their best to hold you back doesn't mean it's actually gonna work. Somebody trying to stop you from doing something doesn't mean they actually did stop you. They're trying to, like you said, they do their best. So what's better, their best or your best? That's the question that you got to answer for yourself. So if their best to hold you back work, then that means there's something wrong with you. Don't mean there's something wrong with them. How do you find yourself? You open your eyes and look. Can I read the employee habits? Yes, I do. Yes, I can repeat that. How did I get asked to do a TED Talk? Because I know how to sell myself. That's one of the things I specialize in, is selling myself and teaching people how to do the same for themselves. The employees thing is this. It's like you're a boss at a job. You think about a factory. All right, you're the boss at the factory. You got 20 employees. So every 6 months, you review the performance of every employee. You say, all right, this employee's doing well. He's helping my business. You keep your job. I give you a raise. You say, this employee's not helping my business. You're not helping me do better. You're making me lose money. So you're fired. So now I got to replace you with a new employee. Your habits are the exact same thing. So you look at your habits. Is this habit of sleeping in every day helping me get to where I want to go in life? Yes or no? The answer is no. You need to fire that habit and replace it with a new habit of getting up early. You understand? Just an example. Is this habit of hanging with these friends who are going nowhere, who don't read anything, they don't invest their time, effort, energy in anything that develops them as a person? Is this habit of hanging with these people helping me get to where I want to go in life? The answer is yes, keep doing it. If the answer is no, you need to fire that habit of hanging with those people and go hang with some new people. You understand? It's the exact same thing as in a job. If you work at a job and you ain't doing your job, eventually you're going to get fired, right? And they're going to replace you with somebody else who could do the job right. Everybody get that part. It's the same thing with your habits. Your habits are your employees. We all have hundreds of habits. So examine your habits and ask yourself, is this habit helping me do better or is it making me worse? Because there is no neutral. There are no neutral habits. Every habit is building or destroying. You either build or you destroy. If I don't want to hang out with certain people, but I have to, what do I do in this case? Well, which one is it? You have to or you don't want to? Which one is more important? You have to hang with, tell me what part of your life you have to hang with people. I don't understand that logic. My battery about to die, but I'll take a couple more questions. What part of your life do you have to hang with people? I never heard of having to hang with people. When playing pro basketball, what are some things that stuck with you that benefit you? You got to ask me a better question than that. School, why do you have to hang with them? You in school, who said you had to hang? I didn't know it was a subject called hanging with people. Been a subscriber for years, didn't know you were on the scope. Yeah, I'm always on the scope. Ain't no class in school for hanging with people. What are you talking about? You have to. There's very few things in life you have to do. So if somebody tells me I want to do this, but I have to do this other thing that I don't want, and I say, then who told you that you had to? I want you to show me where in your school contract it says you have to hang with people at school. I went to school. I ain't have to hang with nobody. I could have just went to class and went home. Where in school did they tell you had to hang with somebody? Please, somebody clarify that for me. Whoever said that. I'm the most slept on since third of all. It won't last long. Trust me. In the class, you're not hanging with them. You in class. Going to class and hanging with people is two different things. You choose who you hang with. You go to class. Yeah, you in class. So when you in class, the teacher's talking. Pay attention to the teacher. Choose a different seat. Who said you had to hang with the people that's in the classroom? You just got to change the way you're looking at things. It has nothing to do with those people. It has everything to do with you, nothing to do with them. Can't take any more questions. Anybody else got a question? This is Dre Baldwin y'all talking to. Make sure you following me. If you watch me for the first time here on Periscope, I do these scopes all the time. I talk about bulletproofing your mindset, talk about leadership. I talk about these personal development concepts. I talk about selling yourself, marketing, branding, promoting yourself to get the things that you want in life instead of accepting the things that get handed to you, and how to make things happen in your life instead of being the victim of things happening to you. Those are things that I specialize in doing, and they apply across all platforms. I don't care if you're an athlete, student, I don't care if you're in the real estate business, you're in the sales business, you work at a bank, you clean toilets. It applies to everybody. So you get to that high level group, we are always to keep going to the high level. Well, that's a decision that you need to make. It's not something that I can tell you what to do. You got to decide. Can anybody be the reason for you not focusing on something, or is it your problem? You can answer that question in 513. You be in these scopes enough that I don't need to answer that question. So you know the answer to that question. That's probably why you're asking it. Can I take any more questions? Anybody else got a question that I have not covered in this scope? Something that I have touched on, but you want some more detail on? All right, y'all can follow me on Snapchat at Dre Baldwin, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Twitter's Dre All Day. Any business inquiries, I coach and consult people on these things. I write books about these topics. I blog about these topics, and all those platforms I said, I talk about these topics, so y'all can get more. Where can you find a bulletproof mindset? DreAllDay.com/bulletproof. Make sure you follow me on social media, Snapchat. You see it right there. The code's going to come up. Dre Baldwin. My Instagram is the same name, at Dre Baldwin. My Twitter and my Periscope, both at Dre All Day. Y'all know my website, DreAllDay.com. Any business inquiries, hit me via email, Dre@DreAllDay.com, or you can just send me a snap. Work on your game. Dre All Day.